Welcome to Inside the Speakeasy podcast, the private room where today's sharpest founders, innovators, and renegade thinkers come to trade the ideas that move industries. This show is brought to you by High Level, the AI-driven business operating system trusted by over 2 million businesses to help automate, scale, and create real leverage. High Level isn't just a tool, it's the engine behind some of the most agile and high-performing teams on the planet. If you're ready to streamline everything, amplify your reach, and actually build a business that works for you, you're in the right place. Visit www.gohighlevel.com/speakeasy-mastermind-promo to get an exclusive 30-day trial for being a listener of the Inside the Speakeasy podcast. Enjoy the show.
I'm a straight shooter. I'm not going to fluff it up. I'm not going to just tell you what you want to hear. Like many people say, oh, I have my bio. Yeah, not in the way they want to see it. Oh, I have my speaker sheet. Yeah, not the way they want to see it. And if you ever mention a one sheet, they'll close the deal on you. Not close meaning get the deal. You lost the deal before you started.
Welcome to Inside the Speakeasy podcast. And I'm so excited today to bring on Dr. Orly Amor. And if you're out there wondering, how can I get on stages, live stages, and actually make some money through going on stages, you are going to be so excited to listen to this episode because we are talking to the business coach for public speakers. And for decades, she's helped thousands of speakers, entrepreneurs, and professionals turn their message into revenue generating asset without speaking for free. And without chasing opportunities. She's been on over 5,000 stages around the world. And most importantly, get this, she guarantees that you're going to get $150,000 in your first year from paid opportunities on stages. Otherwise, she keeps working with you until you get there. She guarantees it. My mouth dropped when I heard that. I'm like, what? Come on. How the heck do you do that? And I said, you got to come on the show. I want to learn, but don't tell me in private. I want to bring you on live. And we're going to talk about how you're able to guarantee people they're going to make money from stages and what the formula is, or at least some of the formulas. I know we can't give away everything, but you're going to teach us some really cool things today. Welcome from Orlando, one of our Orlando members of Speakeasy Mastermind, Dr. Orly.
Thank you so much, Eric, for having me. And I love the Speakeasy family. So I'm very happy to be here.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Well, I want to get into the good stuff, but I know it doesn't happen over the night. So maybe you can kind of take a step back and tell me a little bit about how did you even get into what you're doing? And then I want to get to the gold here. How are we making money on stages?
It's a great question, but it's a long answer. So I would love to just give you a little bit of it.
Sounds good.
I didn't even know I was doing this business of public speaking on my own. I went to 31 countries, 18 states. I've been paid every single time. So I thought it was normal to get paid as a speaker. I never even heard of pay to play, speak to sell, speak for free. I didn't even heard of this terminology until I got paid to speak in Arlington, Texas. And while I was in the break room for speakers, these three guys came over to me and one of them said, "Aren't you Orly Amor?" I said, "Yeah, do I know you?" "Sorry, I don't remember." So they said, "Oh no, we've never met before, but we've seen you on the circuit." And I'm like, okay, I'm a corporate speaker. So it was kind of, okay, maybe you saw me at a couple of events. I'm not saying no. Anyways, we started talking. You know how it goes. We're networking. And at one point, one of them said to me, "I'm just curious, how did you get this gig?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. I told them what I speak about. They paid me and I'm here." They all looked at me like if I had three heads. "You got paid?" And I'm like, "No, you didn't?" And they're like, "No, we didn't get paid, but we got our expenses paid, but not paid." And I'm like, "Oh no, I got paid and I got my expenses paid." So at that point I was boasting, but it got me thinking because that's the time I learned about pay to play, speak to sell, speak for free. I never even heard that terminology until that moment. And that was in 2010.
Wow.
So I went home and I decided to look at what I do and what I've been doing as a speaker. And then I realized, well, hold on a second. This is a business and they're probably not doing the business because they're not asking for the money. Like, what's going on? And that's when I started coaching speakers. I went back to those three guys, by the way, and I told them that I don't know what I'm doing. Like, you can't make this shit up. I just basically said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to guarantee you $150K your first year, or I work with you until you do. So to bring it back to your question, how do I guarantee that? My question to you and your listeners is, If I can guarantee you a job at McDonald's, anywhere USA, can I guarantee they start you at minimum wage? The answer is yes. It's the law. Well, minimum wage in public speaking is 150K. Easy to guarantee it once you know what to do, right?
You know what you're doing. Okay, well, hold on. So you got me curious here.
I know.
The listener here is saying, let's go more. Before we do that, you mentioned a couple of things. So you started by, you were working for a corporation, you were a corporate trainer, and that's like, tell us about
No. I started by booking myself in corporations. I'm a trained profiler.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a certified behavior analyst and a trained profiler. So I go into corporations teaching them how to close the deal 98% of the time through profiling, not through sales 101. So I've been doing this for years all over the world. I've been brought in for that kind of, bring up the bottom line kind of thing. The other one is your network is your net worth. If you don't make enough money, you don't know enough people. And you know that, Eric. I read your book, Proximity Pays. Totally. Yes. And so it's not what I speak on. The business side of public speaking is not my topic. It's really how to close the deal.
Right. That's what you talk about. Okay. That's interesting too. We could probably go down that rabbit hole later about being a profiler and what that means. That's quite fascinating.
Fun. Yes.
Okay. So maybe we'll circle back to that if we have time. But okay. So back to, you were good at teaching something. You're out there, you were getting paid every time. The light bulb went off when all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, there's all these people not getting paid and they're going through this. You're like, this seems so foreign. You're like working for free. What's wrong with you? You're not even getting your minimum wage here. You're flipping burgers and doing fries and you're not getting paid. What's going on? Well, let's get into it a little bit. I mean, what can we share? What are we all doing wrong here?
Okay. Well, first of all, we need to know our worth in the industry, right? I had somebody come to me and say, how much do you charge? And I said, well, right now I'm a $10,000 speaker. And they're like, oh, that's what I should be charging. I said, when was the last time you made $10,000 for a speech? And they're like, oh, I never made money. I'm like, that's where we need to start. Let's talk about industry value versus my value, right? But here's another thing that people are not knowing about this industry. I'm going to give you 3 statistics that are going to blow your mind. 64,000 events a day in America alone, Canada and the United States, pay speakers.
64,000 a day.
Pay speakers. Yet most speakers make less than $30,000 a year speaking. Some people are making it good, but I'm just going to go to the average, right? Average speaker makes about $30,000 a year, which is unbelievable because there's so much opportunity. The second statistic that I'm going to share with you is that this year alone, the industry will be spending $118.9 billion on events and speakers. I don't know about you, but I'm already having a piece of that pie. There is so much money and people just don't know how to do this business. And then the third statistic is that we're 1 million speakers short in the world.
What? Okay.
Yeah. And the industry is starving for women speakers. Women are just 1.9 of all the speakers in the world. It's horrible. 1.9%. Yeah, I know. It's like, this is like, I told you, I'll blow your mind. People don't know this industry. I know this industry inside and out. I studied it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Okay. Well, that's some great stats. I mean, obviously all of us are listening are immediately jumping to, okay, supply and demand here. There's a massive demand, way bigger than any of us thought. And there's not enough supply. And if you're a female, my amazing female listeners, hope you're really getting excited here. Massive shortage. And I think intuitively, a lot of women I know that are great all around, they realized it too, that there's opportunities to get them on stages. Even in speakeasy events, we're always like, we need more women. We need, it's like, we want to get more women on stages. All right. So I love the data. So clearly what you're saying is no matter what our mental limitations are, thinking there's no money out there, we got to do that because the data is completely telling us the opposite. There's money out there. You just need to know how to get it and to get out there. And you also said the value, where do you start? Well, okay, let's go back to that question. Or you can go whatever direction you want, which is how do we help determine if, so I've never been on stage before, I got to start somewhere. Can't be zero because I'm starting at zero.
No, it's not zero. It's definitely not zero. You fall between. So if you've never been paid before, you fall between, and there is an industry value schematic that I can share usually on a PowerPoint, but the speaker that has started or just not yet, well-versed in the speaking industry will make between 1,000 and 5,000. But where do you stand between those two numbers is something that we need to have a conversation for. That's why I fee structure people, because they need to know where they can start and how much not to go under, because then the event planners are going to say, well, you don't know what you're doing. Upcoming and corporate speakers make between 5,000 and 10,000, right? And then there's the more celebrity kind not totally A-listers, B-listers would make about 20 to 50. And then there is the A-listers that would make about 50 plus. Okay. For one talk, for one keynote, let's just talk about keynote right now. We can get into the other one later, but that's the industry value, not my value.
Right.
But when you know where you need to start, how much have you ever been paid? You got to know that. And then you got to make that money in order for the industry to recognize you as a paid speaker. I tell people all the time, if you want to be paid as a speaker, stop speaking for free.
Right.
Unless you're really good at selling from stage and that's your model, and that's okay. I don't sell from stage. I don't know how. And I don't want to. Not that I do. Yeah.
And then you have your rates. Look, this is my rates. This is what I do. You're saying, go get that first couple. Now you're officially a paid speaker. These are your rates. And I guess with more experience, the rates go up like any other experiential thing. Okay. Step one is, help identify where you fit, what your rates are. Yep.
That's a misconception, where you fit.
Okay, good. Help me. Yeah.
Yes, I'll help you for sure. Because when people are thinking, so my tagline is, if you have a message, somebody's willing to pay for it. You want to play a game with me for the audience?
Yeah, I want to get on some stages. I got a book out, as you know, Dr. Orly.
All right. So do you have a great message? And by the way, disclaimer, if you're passionate about anything, you do have a great message. So can you say yes to that?
Yes, we all have a great message in us.
We all have a great message.
Sometimes we need a coach like you to help get it out of us. Yes.
No, not at all. And here's the other thing. Do you think you're a great speaker? And by the way, disclaimer, if you are passionate about anything, you're a great speaker. You don't have to worry about it. So would you say you're a great speaker?
That's an interesting question.
Yes, Eric, say yes. It's okay.
Say yes. Sure. Yes.
Eric, it's good.
Yeah, good speaker, because when I'm passionate about it, it becomes easy to speak about the thing you're passionate about. That's right. I love it. Yep.
So between the speaking part or the messaging part, which one of these two do you think event planners care about most? Your message or your delivery or your speaking?
My message.
Okay, it was a trick question. That's why I wanted you to play this game with me, because it's neither.
Oh, okay.
They want you to show up on time and finish on time, which most speakers don't know how to do.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't matter if you're a bad speaker, they're not going to call you back, but you have 64 other thousand events that will book you, right? And that's what I like to share with people, is that you care about, oh, well, what do I fit, or what message should I have, and how, which genre should I be talking about, because it's the hot part of this industry. And let me tell you, there's only 3 pillars of hot topic, right? There is health, wealth, and relationship, communication, leadership are all falling under that third one. And then people come out to me and say, well, what about AI? And I'm like, AI fits in all 3. Yeah, so don't worry about it. You fit everywhere. That's how you go out everywhere. You should go everywhere.
That's right. I love it. Okay. So we all have the message. We all are good speakers. It doesn't matter. We just got to go perform and get our poo-poo together and get in and out for the time we have. All right.
That's right.
I like it.
I wrote a book called Public Speakers, You're Not All That. 12 Reasons Why Event Planners Won't Hire You. I interviewed over 3,400 event planners that actually pay speakers for this book. It took me 4.5 years out of my own time and my own dime to get it from the horse's mouth. Many people think that they need so many things before they can become a paid speaker. Let me tell you a few things that you might have heard that you need to have in order to get paid. So you need a book.
These are all myths. Okay, things that people think they need.
People think they need this because they've been told in the industry that they need this, right? You need to have a book. You need to have a website. You need to have a TEDx talk. You need to have a podcast. You need to have a blah, blah, blah. And it goes on. The list goes on and on and on. You need to be a part of the NSA and the Speaker Bureau and blah, blah, blah.
All myths.
None of it. I have 20. I have a list of 20. None of it are true. Okay. And I'm full proof of it. My website got hacked and was stolen from me. The guy who I paid to redo my website took it to his GoDaddy, doesn't want to give it back, and holds it hostage for thousands of dollars. And by principle, I didn't pay him. So orlyamor.com does not exist anymore because I won't pay him the money. Not that I don't have it. It's by principle. You did something wrong and you should not be paid. So I created meetorlyamor.com, right? But at the same time, nobody knows you. Why would they go look for your website? It took me 2 years to get over that whole hump, and I didn't have a website for 2 years. So how did I get paid 6 to 8 times a month, right? And so I realized that I have something here that can show people how to function as a business first.
Okay.
and then they'll get paid. It's the easy part. Getting all your ducks in a row is the hard part. Why? Because in my book, actually, the number one thing that event planners are saying is speakers don't know what they're doing. That's what they're thinking of you guys. You know what I mean? They're thinking you don't know what you're doing. That's why you're not making it. That's why you're not getting paid or whatever. People ask from desperation instead of owning. And many things I say to my clients, but one of them is in this business, we don't earn respect. We demand it.
Okay, so big part. So what I'm hearing so far, a lot of it's just the attitude shift
Yeah.
about the way we present ourselves. And tell me more. So what are the planners looking for? How do we get those gigs? Everything you hear on this show comes back to one idea: proximity. I wrote the book on it, literally. Proximity Pays. My best-selling book available now at proximitypays.com.
Well, the first friend you really have is Google. You can look up events. You can look up their emails on the events, and you can definitely contact them. It depends on what you say and how you say it. And then it's about getting on a call with an event planner and knowing what to say and how to say it, how much you charge, when you charge, how to scale. This is a business. And that's why I love the fact that I exist, and still the only one in the world. After 16 years coaching speakers all over the world, I'm still the only one that does it in writing. Why is that? Because not only do I do what I tell people to do, I walk my talk. How many people you know that walk their talk in this industry? Not to name anyone, but yes, there's many people that don't walk their talk.
Yeah. Okay. So you're training your clients on, first of all, macro. There's tons of opportunities. Macro, get your poo-poo together, believe in yourself, get your message down, know what you stand in, believe, let's get your price point. Once you have kind of the fundamentals there, then it's a matter of, okay, now where do we go find them? And you're saying, well, there's a lot of techniques. There's probably a number of ways which you teach people, I imagine.
Yeah, 7 of them. Yeah, there's 7 of them.
Okay. Are you able to talk about a macro? Obviously,
well, one of them is network. Tell people you're a speaker and start charging. It doesn't matter what you charge, just start charging. Stop speaking for free to begin with, because that's when you're telling the universe, everybody, that you're a free speaker. And many people come to me and they're like, yeah, I was told I'm supposed to speak for free for 100 times because I need to get exposure. And I'm like, you want exposure? By the way, Eric, I have no filter between my brain and my mouth. Just a warning. You want exposure? Go outside. The sun is going to give you plenty, but it's certainly not going to pay the bills, right? Like that's the thing. And people like that about me because I'm a straight shooter. I'm not going to fluff it up. I'm not going to just tell you what you want to hear. Like many people say, oh, I have my bio. Yeah, not in the way they want to see it. Oh, I have my speaker sheet. Yeah, not the way they want to see it. And if you ever mention a one sheet, they'll close the deal on you. Not close meaning get the deal. You lost the deal before you started.
Got it. It almost reminds me, the analogy in my head is a little bit like PR, public relations. Like there's somebody on the other side of all these TVs and the newspaper. There's these formulas of like how to get to them, what to say. So it's a similar concept, right? Like,
sure.
Like you don't send the one, you do this. This is what you send to them.
And you don't send if they didn't ask. How many people send stuff to event planners? They never ask them for it.
You want to get them interested. You want them to ask for your stuff. You got to become the prize, I imagine. There's a psychology there, right? You got to be wanted.
For sure. Yes.
Okay, so there's networking. There's just straight Google search. What else is there?
Also, when you're contacting event planners, like many people tell me, I contact event planners on LinkedIn. I'm like, let me give you a secret. If you contact event planners on LinkedIn, on messaging, like a messenger kind of thing, whether it's in Sales Navigator or other, it doesn't matter. You just got blacklisted.
Okay.
Right? People are doing the wrong thing because they think it's the new thing or the right thing to do. That's not how to do it. You want to get to them. You need to find their event or their website, go find out what their email is and email them from your private email. That's what you need to be doing.
So let's walk down that path. I'm just trying, if we can get one or two good takeaways from, this is really good in the macro, let's go down this one. So I find somebody on LinkedIn in my city, let's just say they're an event planner.
Yes.
One of these are lots of events that are going on in, let's say, San Diego or your city, Orlando.
Yeah.
I reach out to them. I found them on LinkedIn. What am I saying in that first email?
Well, when is your next event? Because here's what you're assuming, that you saw the event or that because maybe their event, and here's an umbrella comment here that's very important. Some events happen once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year, right? But there's also events that happen every 2 years, every 3 years, every 4 years, like elections. So you need to be careful who you're talking to. Event planners, they did a survey on the most stressful jobs in America, Canada and the United States, 100 most stressful jobs. Number 1 was military jet fighter plane pilot. Number 2 was air traffic controller. Number 5 for the last 5 years is event planner coordinator. Do you really think they have time to read your book, go to your website, listen to your nonsense on your emails and all that stuff? No, they don't have time for it. So when people are not getting responses from event planner, they say, oh, this shit doesn't work or this doesn't work. And I'm like, no, that's not true. You need to understand the psychology behind this, because if they're not looking for speakers, what are you contacting them for? So if you say to them, when are you looking for speaker? Typically, whatever, right? So they'll tell you, oh, we don't look for speakers until March. Great. Well, you know what? Put it in your folder for who to call in March. If you're organized enough, you'll get all the ones that are in March and just keep calling people year after year after year, because they're doing it all the time, the same time.
Okay. So your first question, event planners, what I'm reading between the lines is keep it simple. Don't tell them about yourself. They don't care about you yet. You're asking one basic question. When are you looking for speakers for your next event? That's it.
Or when is your next event? And then you can come back. Like if they respond, you can say, oh, our next event is in September next year because they already booked this year or something like that, right?
When are you looking for speakers? And then you say, okay, great. When do you look for speakers? Do you ask them like what kind of speakers, or you just say, when are you looking for speakers?
No, because what happens is that you really just want to go on the event planner's list of speakers. That's what you want. Your end result is not to get booked from that first email. It's really to get on their list. Why is that? Because they have a list of speakers that they will reach out to when they're looking for speakers. Before they go public looking for speakers, at least 2 weeks before they go public, they send an email to their list of speakers that are already on their list. If they kept you on their list, consider yourself very lucky, because you will get that email. And if you're one of the first ones to respond to them, you're the first one to get hired.
Got it.
People don't believe me until it happens to them. One person that wanted to hire me, he didn't, but here's the thing. He came on the call with me and he was all peeved because he went on vacation. And before he went on vacation, he sent out a bunch of emails on his own. I didn't know him. And so he came back from his vacation and he reached out to the 3 event planners that responded that said, yes, they would be interested to hire him. How quick is that, right? And then he says to me, he's all peeved because he said that 2 of them told him that they hired the first 3 people that responded. And I said to him, and I have no filter. I said, where did you go on vacation? Planet Mars? Like, where did you go? That you couldn't check because you're reaching out to event planners. This is the time to check your email at least twice a day. Are you kidding me? Right?
Yeah.
And here is what I want to say to that, right? It's about the response time. Let me tell you a statistic. 48% of speakers never respond to event planners. That is so sad.
It's so funny. This is music to my ears, because I've learned doing what I'm doing here that the response time and the follow through of a lot of entrepreneurs is, I hate to say it, very, very low and poor and all that kind of stuff. And I always say, for those that have high follow through and response times, they're going to gain an edge, because they're fast to respond. I totally agree with what you're saying, because you're right. People are busy doing things. They don't have time. These event planners are just like, make my job easy. Okay, great. You're responding. Great. Let's move on. I have to solve this problem in the next 48 hours.
That's true.
There I'm talking to you. I can't remember the other 10 people I talked to over 6 months ago.
Right.
So that's right. And I think it's a lesson for those people out there that are relying heavily on their AIs and their assistants on being responsive and getting out there when these opportunities come up. Okay, so that's really important. I think what I'm hearing and sensing is you're teaching how to do basic, simple things, but there's a structure, there's a formula. Casting a huge net, being on the ball, being responsive, saying the right things, and it's a numbers game. You just go out there as much as you can.
But is it any business?
Yeah, it's a number. Yeah, you get out there and don't be afraid, and just say, look, I'm going to go out there and do all these things. At some point, I'm going to get calls are going to come in.
Consistency is key. People who go through my program sometimes get booked right after the first session.
Wow.
Because they know what to say.
They know what to say.
The opportunity arose and they knew what to say, so they got the deal.
Right. So there's a lot of macro. Obviously, you teach a lot of things within the weeds. Okay, you do get the call. Here's what to say. Here's how to get their interest. Here's what you do. Here's the emails you go out. That's great. And I know that's a pro. So I think for those listening, there's a lot of little things here. Google, LinkedIn, finding event planners, any other kind of like little nuggets there. And then I'm going to talk about some of the other things that you're working on.
Your network is your net worth, isn't it?
Yep. So I have a network.
Exactly. Tell everybody in your network, I'm a public speaker. If you know of any opportunities, would you please introduce me to leaders of groups or events that are looking for speakers. Forget the hiring part, because you can get to that conversation later, but you can absolutely get the door open.
Right.
One of my clients, she hasn't even finished the program yet, but she was able to talk to somebody that knew that now she's taking this program. And they said to her, they need somebody. It's going to be $10K. And I was like laughing because she didn't even have her speaker sheet yet. So I said, okay, let's do it then. And she's like, okay, because I need to give it to them this weekend. So I was there. And that's what I tell people. I'm there to hold your hand until you make it. But here's the other thing. My condolences in advance. If you ever want to then, work with me, you have me for life, because there's a lot of nuances that you're going to make mistakes. But I already walk that talk, so I already know what you're going to face, and I can help you close the deal. I have clients who have made hundreds of thousands of dollars from one contract.
Right.
One.
Amazing. And I'm going to say, you didn't say it, but I know this is the way you think. I'm following you now. Even if you're in the networking events, don't assume because you bring it up once that everybody's going to remember. It's all these things are top of mind. Like, you're going to have to say it all the time. You want to get known every time you have a chance to tell people, this is what you do, this is what you do. Because at some point in that moment, nobody may have a lead for you. But when they keep saying it, you want to be top of mind. That seems like to be the goal here, right? You got to be in people's faces enough times. Just keep going at it until they're like, okay, I'm now ready for you.
Yes.
First call.
Yes, for sure.
Love it. Okay. And then, so is this what you're doing? I see two words up on I see Speaker Exchange. Tell me about Speaker Exchange and Authors Cruise.
So Speakers Exchange is every week. It's on Wednesdays from noon to 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. You can come and really network with some amazing people. Some of them are event planners, podcast hosts, so and so. So you might meet people that will open the doors for you. You never know. You just never know. Every week I'm surprised by who's there and so on. Then there's the Speakers and Authors Cruise that happens every year. This year it's from 26th of September to the 3rd of October from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we do this every year. So you get on stage, you get feedback from the audience as well as the pros to refine a 3-minute speech, because the premise of it is that, let's say you get hired, Eric, for an hour talk, right? You got paid $10,000 and you get to the stage. You're all rehearsed. You're all prepared. Everything is good. You look amazing. And now they're miking you just before you go on stage. And the event planner comes all nice and stressed and saying, I'm sorry, Eric, but I need you to cut it to 5 minutes. And you're like, what? Hold on a second. Which slide do I omit? Or what do I have to do now? Like, which story do I tell? So we teach you to do the hardest speech ever, and then teach you a framework that you can expand on to do a longer speech. So it's cool because everybody gets on stage.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Really
and we
cool.
get pictures and videos and so more assets for people.
We'll drop those links in the content when we post this for those that are not watching on YouTube. I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to just do that QR code right now because I'm interested in those. Then I'll save that for later. But wow, that's really cool. Okay. What else? Maybe kind of as we sort of exit through this, because I know we're coming up on our time.
Right.
Maybe give me the top couple biggest mistakes that authors and speakers you say are making. And then maybe we'll flip that and say, if they just had to do one or two things differently, where would you start?
One is own your value. I don't care how old you are, where you've been, what you've done. You've paid for what you know today. You paid with education, money, time, blood, sweat, and tears, aggravations, experiences. No one can take that away from you. It's your intellectual property. Why not get paid for it?
Right. So imposter syndrome is a real deal and we got to get over it.
It is. Absolutely.
Okay. And that was kind of a tip and a share at the same time. That was a mistake and a share at the same time. I like it.
It is. Totally. Yes.
Yeah.
The second mistake is quitting too soon, right? Everybody is 6 seconds away from the miracle because they just don't want to do it consistently. There's two reasons why speakers don't get paid. They don't know how, so we can't blame them for that. You don't know what you don't know, but they also don't want to do the work. The guarantee I give is like 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. What do you mean you can't give an hour a day to your business? It doesn't make sense. So that's the laziness. I'm sorry. I'm going to call it what it is. It's lazy.
Got it. So that's actually interesting for those that are interested, because you have such a great offer on getting $150,000 on stages outside of, they could reach out to you if they're interested in more. But as far as their time investment, you said 1 hour a day for 5 days. What's their time investment?
Maybe 30 to an hour a day in the beginning, 5 days a week. The guarantee is there. Just do it consistently. Stay in touch with me consistently. Have me on your corner because, my condolences in advance. When you do decide to work with me, you have me for life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think I'm getting it. Anybody listening to Dr. Orly here realizes, I'm sure she's the first to tell you, like anything, you can't just hope and pray and have and think happy thoughts and you're going to get $150,000 a year. You got to do work, but she's created an incredible formula that if you do the consistent work, bingo, you're going to have success, and she guarantees it. So I think hard to beat that. And so please definitely check her out if you're interested in learning more about that and getting on some stages and leveling up everything you're doing out there. Is there anything I didn't ask that you want to cover with respect to the stuff you're teaching?
Well, the reason I do what I do, because a lot of people come to me and say, well, I don't care if I don't make money. Well, I'll tell you, you got to pay it forward. I don't need the money either. But the thing is that I have a nonprofit. We are building healing centers for rescued victims of human trafficking, sex and labor slavery, so that we can give them back their God-given right to life, freedom, education, and autonomy. We want more people to get on our board. We want more people to know what we're working on and to join us. So if you don't know what to do with your money, give it to a charity. I don't care if it's mine. My point is, pay it forward. If you really have that kind of money that you don't need it, go ahead, give it away. Because we're not going to take it to the grave with us, are we?
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I apologize I didn't ask about that. I do have that in my notes. So that would say You Are My Light Foundation, helping build healing centers for survivors of human trafficking. What a wonderful cause. Thank you for doing all the work there. Excellent. And thank you so much for your time today and sharing some great words of wisdom. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much for being our leader.
Thank you. Have a great day. And that's a wrap from the Speakeasy podcast. If something sparked for you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, review it, and pass it to the one person who needs to hear this right now. Want in on the real mastermind? Tap the link in the show notes to apply. Until next time, keep scaling, stay sharp, and don't be the smartest one in the room. Hello, I've been noticing you've been following along to Inside the Speakeasy podcast. And if the conversations I'm having out there resonates with you, then I'd like to invite you to apply to learn more about becoming a member of Speakeasy.